I met a gypsy.
Someone that's been very involved on the back end of electric. What do you think the future is for electric? What do you think the future is for racing? How should it be implemented? Do you agree in them not being allowed to race currently? Like, where are you at on it?
I've been going full circle. So, for the record, I organized the first electric motocross at the Orleans during Mini Moto in 2008, which, we had Emig, Tortelli, and plenty of good riders. And, Zero was the first brand of electric bikes. We lined up with Zero bikes. It was awesome. It was a really super good experience, but definitely too early. Nothing. People were not reacting positively. It was cute. I would say it's the right word to use, and I don't like that word, but it was cute. And then I joined Alta when they came in, and I was quite instrumental in the Josh Hill story, at
Straight Rhythm.
Straight Rhythm. And, then we went to Erzberg with Ty Tremaine, which was fantastic experience. Sadly, the company went belly up after. Shortly after, I was called by Stark, and I was one of the first person to join the group. We up to the bike launch, and there was a lot of willingness to push the electric in the gas field, and I was okay with that. I was okay with that. I just looked at the big picture. It sounded like a super good idea. I was the first one to realize that it's not going to happen. I'm not saying I'm happy about it, but you have to realize when things are not going to happen shortly. And it's one of the reasons I left that group almost 2 years ago, because I said, it's just not going to happen. We have to find different ways to expose the quality of an electric bike. It's not going to be through Supercross or MXGP, because I don't think our world is going to let it happen because of what happened in MotoGP, what happened in Formula One. Right away, the sports decided it's going to be a different class. For the right or the wrong reason, that's the way it happened. And today we are in a little bit of a culture war about electric being allowed in racing or not. And I think it's detrimental to the entire sport, because we should embrace it. We should let, bikes, ride together to a point, not necessarily open the door fully in Supercross. We have manufacturers that have been investing millions over the years, to perfect a 450 motocross bike. And of course, they're protective. We talked about that, a while ago. I mean, they want to protect their territory. They're not ready yet. KTM is building fantastic gas bike. They don't have an electric bike today, so why would they want an electric bike? That is understandable. But we need electric bike to help us break some noise situation.
Yes.
We need electric bike to have a track, in Costa Mesa, in Irvine. That's what I've been telling whoever wants to listen. Let's show electric bike brings something to the picture. We not beat a gas bike, but do things that the gas bike cannot do. You'll never have a motocross track in SoCal, close to the ocean, because of the noise. It's simply not possible. It will never happen. I raced Saddleback.
Yeah.
It was 10 minutes away from here. And that's not going to happen anymore,
Yeah.
So I would bring electric bike more in that aspect, because, the bike, the Stark is exceptional. For riders like us, the regular weekend warrior, it's a great bike. It's maybe the best bike.
It's the bike.
Yeah, it's maybe the bike short of the range. It's a little bit limited still.
But in terms of, I actually just had this conversation with a friend of mine, Kyle. He's sponsored the show forever, and he pre-ordered a Stark, like pre-orders ago, and then he finally gets it, and then so it's a funny story. He was like trying to buy this house, and he's like, "Fuck, I'm gonna have to sell it because I've got to come up with all this money real quick to buy this house."
Yeah.
And I was devastated. He didn't even get to ride it, and I was so devastated for him.
Yeah.
Anyway, it worked out. He made it happen, bought the house, kept the bike. And I spoke to him just the other day, and he's like, "Holy fuck, bro! they're like the best thing in the world.
No, it is.
He doesn't ride much. His kids ride. His kids have electric bikes.
Yeah.
And he's a good rider,
Yeah.
you know, but he's not out there riding twice a week, keeping up the fitness, keeping up the skill.
Yeah.
And so now that guy can just go and enjoy riding a motorcycle with his family. He's got this acreage that he lives on. His kids can fucking fantastic.
Exactly.
Best bike he could ever own.
Absolutely.
Is it the only bike? Is that the only thing that riders should own? No, 100% not. But like in a specific application and a specific way for a specific guy, they're the best bike, you know, and we should be embracing that for the larger culture of motorcycling.
And I think the direction of trying to prove it's a competition bike is not the right message. The right message is, you know, it's people like from your generation to my generation. You know, it's like we just want a bike that's easy to ride, zero maintenance. It's zero maintenance.
It's ridiculous.
Yes, it's like, you know, I plug my bike when I come back, and next day I just unplug it and go riding.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, and I'm looking at my air filters because, you know, I've got 2-stroke, 4-stroke, and electric, and you know, it's just the sheer lust to have a 2-stroke or 4-stroke, which is. It's a big, big part of riding. You know, I mean, it's lustful.
Yeah.
You know, that bike that sounds really sexy and vibrate and
it's
everything.
got the feeling.
And it's like when I jump on my Stark and do a couple laps at my track, it's less the ceremonial of getting on a bike is kind of like dull. You know, you go there and you turn a switch. I mean, you push the switch and you ride. I mean, the pleasure of starting you 450 and just revving up and everything, that's something that talked to us and still does. But we don't understand how much it doesn't talk to other people, you know. I mean, I've got my own motocross track in Florida, and I bought it to be away from civilization, you know, because the noise was the number one factor. So I ended up buying a piece of land that is close to a runway, airport runway, just to be putting myself away from noise issue, because, you know, nobody likes motorcycle noise. It's what people have to realize. So embrace that, electric motorcycle makers. Let's go and build tracks where nobody can ride. I mean, we should have a track downtown, you know, LA. You know, or downtown Barcelona or Paris. And, you know, people would ride electric bikes. You know, you just have to take care of the dust. That's the next issue, but that's an easy fix.
That's easier than noise. Yeah. And so how should they be integrated into racing? Should they be given wildcards at events to where, because I think the manufacturers care about championships.
Yeah.
So they don't want
my first idea was that, you know, my first idea.
Like they can do 4 races a year
just
or something.
Like last race, you know, my first idea when I talked to whoever was like, hey, let Josh Hill do the final on an electric bike, because he's today the fastest rider in the world on an electric bike. I mean, Josh Hill is the fastest human on an electric bike. And, you know, he's a legit top 20 guys. So give a chance to guys like that. Maybe give a chance to the manufacturers to do 1 race a year on an electric bike. Have Trek and Hard line up at one national on the Honda. Just, you know, it would be, I don't think it could hurt anything or anybody. But, you know, that was kind of like, no, it's...
they just don't even want to crack the door a little bit.
And you know, sadly, the aggressiveness that we've seen with some manufacturers got, you know, I mean, you know, it's just, you have to be careful who you're poking, you know, at some point, you know. And when we did the straight rhythm with Josh Hill, you know, I mean, Jeremy Malott and I, we didn't want to poke anybody. We just wanted to create something fun for the sport, and that worked very well. You know, the following years I got in Geneva, Josh Hill against Carmichael, you know, doing a duel, you know, I mean, couple laps. And one time Ricky won, one time Josh Hill won. That was unbelievable. It was among the best minutes of racing I ever, you know, was, because people were amazed. It was like the GOAT on a gas bike and Josh Hill on an electric bike. It was amazing. That's the kind of things we need to do. Now, I think if it was today, I would not be allowed to do that. Yeah, there would be some people, no, we can't do that. It's just not proper. And it's sad because, you know, we need to think, once again, you know, you can't talk about electric bike until you've rode one. That's if you don't ride a Stark, or if you don't drive a Tesla once in your life, please do not open your mouth. You have no idea what you're missing. You know, once you do that, realize that there's a space, there's things that an electric vehicle is gonna do like no other gas vehicle. And you know, I'm a little bit down on it because I've seen so much beating on it, but you know, that's what it takes to be have a vision and be a pioneer. You have to take the beating.
Yeah. I've had that exact conversation with Anton. Yeah. And I've just said, look, man, you just did too good.
Yeah.
Like you nailed it. You knocked it out of the park. And as a result, everyone is now scared.
Yeah. Exactly. And, just prove the point where you can prove it, you know, instead of going after things that, you know, that are difficult to get. It will happen. It's going to be, but you know, we have a setback. So
yeah,
we'll make it work.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.